Welcome back. So our next guest is a Jamaican-born global entrepreneur, real estate investor, best-selling author, and at just 27, he has retired and now travels the world teaching others how to do the same using his latest book. Kadeem Leslie, welcome. Hi.
Hey.
I want to know it all. I want to know everything. I want to retire too. I want to travel the world.
Of course.
And I want to manage all these assets.
Of course. It's great to be here.
As a cellist who plays for heads of state, a real estate investor, a best-selling author, as I mentioned, how did you go from growing up in Jamaica to then managing over $12 million, and I'm not talking 12 million Jamaican dollars, over 12 million US dollars in assets?
Yes, well, you know what started it was recognizing that I needed to earn money while I slept, right? That was the first thing. And because I wanted to find a way that assets could pay for my lifestyle. So I want to own the car washes. I want to own the gas stations. I want to own, the bank. I want to own some real estate. I want to own the plaza. So then I figured out a way, okay, cool. How can I start that journey from 1 unit, 2, 4, 6, 8, etc., right? And go from there. And what factually started as 1 bedroom grew to 1 property, then 2 properties, then now, I think we have 27, 28 now. We might close another one soon.
Wow.
And then we have a couple of businesses as well. So, we've been doing good.
You say you speak of your business and your business partners.
Right. So then, one, you never want to start a business by yourself, right? Because then if you are the one doing it all, then you have to be there. So then I get to travel the world and I have a team that manages the assets while we get to grow and do amazing things all over the world.
You have a book titled, is it what, Full Student?
Full Student. Right, that was the first bestseller, yes.
What does full mean to you?
So full actually has 3 definitions. It's a great question. Full has 3 definitions. The first is 1, we are all multifaceted people. 2nd, we want to maximize all of those areas. And 3rd, we want to live our best year every single year. Okay,
why did that word then become, the it word, right? The most important word or the foundation for your philosophy?
I think it maybe came to me on a flash of inspiration when I was 15. And, I think it became my life philosophy and just stuck. And that was a very pivotal year in my life at 15. That's actually when I decided to become financially free by the time I was 30. So then I think so many things changed for me that year. So, it just stuck with me. Yeah.
It just stuck with you from then.
Yeah.
When you were 15, were you in Jamaica?
I was in Jamaica, Campion College.
Wow.
That's right.
Okay. And then you transitioned to overseas.
Yes, on a full scholarship for music. And then I graduated with music and economics with, all these assets.
What's so interesting though, Kadeem, a lot of persons are probably watching this interview and they're probably thinking, hey, did you get some a gold spoon from a family member? Did you just get some kind of boss in life? Because everybody looking for that boss in life, right? You laugh, right? But you've managed to find a way by just using, what you had at your fingertips and your education.
Right. In fact, I'll tell you the rag to riches story, which is, again, it's in the first book, it's in the second book. I remember being at Campion College and I had to count coins at the register to afford a beef patty and a Danish and a soda, and sometimes I could only afford patty, sometimes I could only afford, the Danish, because it was cheaper. But I remember going from that, sometimes I didn't have enough for that lunch, so I could only do what I got at high school. From that to figuring it out, believe me when I tell you, the essence of it being a rags to riches story could not be more true.
Okay.
Because if I had a silver spoon, that would have been so much easier.
Even if it was a silver, not even not gold.
A bronze spoon would have been nice. No. But you know what it is? I think it's inspirational because I wouldn't change my story for the world, right? And what it becomes is that I know what you're going through. I understand it because I was there.
Right.
I just shared pictures to my Instagram recently that, hey, this is the couch I slept on because as a part of my story, I moved out of my room in college, went to the couch so that I could rent the room, and that started the real estate journey.
Wow.
And I shared pictures of that couch on my Instagram because it's a true story.
And it started all from that couch. So Full Money now, right?
Yes.
The first, your first book that's actually written by a Jamaican and translated into Spanish and Portuguese.
That's right.
Right. So why was it so important for you to translate this message and just reach beyond English-speaking persons?
Well, here's what's interesting, because I spent 3 years traveling through South America. I'm retired, I travel full-time, right? So in South America, what you realize is that most of the books that we have in English, a lot of people do not speak English. It's not their first language. So then, I realized only 16% of the world is English their first language, which means that for so many people, if you could get the book into their first language, Spanish, Portuguese, Mandarin, all of these languages, then now your message can reach more people. And I said, oh, well then, half the traveling, I have to be one of those people that does that.
Okay.
Have to be.
Definitely. A lot of persons, they're looking on as well, and they want to retire, they want to travel the world, and they possibly don't even know where to start, right? What's the first real step?
Of course. So I'll share with you a simple formula from the book, which I share with everybody, okay? So there's 4 steps to financial freedom, right? There's income, assets, investments, then lifestyle. Most people understand income to lifestyle, but you're missing the first 2 things. Some people understand that you want to go income to assets to lifestyle, but that's not complete, because if it's just assets, then you're living off the income from the assets, but that's not enough. If you have income to assets to investments to lifestyle, then you're only living on the income from your investments, which means that your assets keep getting richer. And well, if you want to leave your job, you can, but your assets keep making you richer, which means that now you can retire and still get richer every single month, which is the case for me. I'm richer now than when I started traveling. And then you keep getting richer using that formula. That's the thing.
Wow. And you built businesses while studying, actually, and playing music in college as well. So you were doing quite a bit. For young Jamaicans who are trying to juggle, going to school, possibly having a part-time job, they have limited resources. What's your biggest piece of advice right now?
Definitely Read Full Student. That's the first.
That's Read Full Student.
That's the first student. It's available on Amazon, so that's the first one. But you have to study what other people are doing that makes them successful, right? So then this is a decade of studying people who had money and had a lifestyle that I wanted. This is studying, because I was a failing student, which many people don't realize, when I was in grade 7. Not a good time. So then in going from a failing student to, I remember going from 34 to 21 to 14 to 11 to 2nd, and then by the last semester at Campion College, I was number 1. So it didn't happen overnight. I just want to make that clear. But I was constantly studying what top students were doing. Why did they write so much? When did they study? How did they think about studying? How did they think about memory? I looked at their notepads. So then all of those secrets are in here. But if let's say you can't afford this yet, no problem. What you can start doing is to start studying the people who have the life and the results that you want.
Okay. And on your social media pages, do you share, advice and tidbits and that kind of thing? All
the time. You can follow me, I am Cade_ on Instagram. You can also, we just hit 5,000 subs on YouTube, so I'm very happy about that. We have subscribers all over the world. So I'm very happy about sharing and talking to people in every walk of life and in multiple languages too.
Okay, and how old are you?
27.
You're 27, so you're not yet 30.
Not yet 30.
But your goal was always to retire by the time you were 30, have some kind of financial freedom, and just hit the ground running. Yes,
and again, I decided at 15, didn't get there until 24. So again, it wasn't overnight, right? I just want to make that clear. But it was a consistent effort throughout that time. But if you're thinking that it's going to happen by the end of 2026, I don't want to give you a false impression. But if you're thinking 2026, it can happen by 2036, I'm all for you.
Or even before then.
Or even before then.
Yeah.
But then either way, when you get to 2036, you can say, actually, I've made progress, I've done it, rather than, okay, maybe I should start now in 2036.
Yeah, 10 years later.
No, you don't want to do that.
All right, Kadeem, thank you so much for joining us. It was a pleasure speaking with you. And we're looking forward to seeing, where next you're going to be traveling and sharing a message about full money. Thank you so much. Jamaican-born global entrepreneur, real estate investor, best-selling author, Kadeem Leslie. Don't go anywhere. We Can Smile. We'll be right back.